Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to service this lovely Seiko Lord matic. A little bit different this time, as this watch will be auctioned at a no reserve auction on eBay. So whoever's interested in this watch can see that on this video. It will be given a full service. The proceeds of the auction will go directly to a GoFundMe campaign for a friend of mine who was in a riding accident, and it was quite a serious one. But fortunately she has survived, but there's quite a long recovery period before she can go riding again. The horse was chased by a dog, and she was on the horse at the time, and it ran into the forest, so she hit a big branch, fell off and smashed into a tree. So yeah, the details is on the GoFundMe page. I'll send the link in the description. So if anybody wants to help out with a little $5 or $10 or something like that, that'd be much appreciated. If you would like this fantastic watch, you can see the full service of it coming up now, and the link will be on the eBay no reserve auction. So you could get this for £10 or maybe £20 or more. All the money will go to the GoFundMe campaign. So yeah, not something I usually do, but sometimes people are a bit unfortunate, so you might as well just give a little helping hand. Anyway, so this watch seems to be in very good condition. We got an original Lord matic bracelet with decent length, and it's a monocoque construction, so we're going to start by getting the movement out of the case. So to get the movement out, we're going to start by lifting the bezel. You have a little slot here which we can fit our case back opening tool, like so. Then we're going to use the crystal grabber to lift up the actually, before we do this, I'm going to get the bracelet off. This makes it a bit more manageable. So I got my bracelet removing tool. We go into the slot here, pull the spring bar back. There we go. Next, I'm going to get my crystal lift so I can get hold of the crystal. See if we can pull it up. So we tighten this around the base of the crystal. See if that will come off. It's pretty tight on there. And it did. Perfect. Look at that dial. Isn't that a gorgeous watch? Seiko really good at the starburst finishes, I think. So we got the crystal. We can release that again, because we're going to give that it's in pretty good shape, so we're probably just going to give that a clean and a polish. So with the Seiko, rather than have a split stem, you can get the crystal off. You can press this lever down, put that down. This little lever here, you press that down and your crown comes out. Now with the crown out, we can access this little slot, or it's a ring kind of thing here. Move that around, and that should have disengaged the movement. There we go. That little slot here goes onto the movement, secures it. Very clever system, so that this slides onto underneath the front of the movement here and secures it. Very, very nice construction. Here we got the movement. Really nice 5606A. Just a remarkable movement. Look at that. It's got the micro regulator, adjustable beat error. Well, it's just automatic. I guess it will have several nice features on this. Really cool watch. Looking at the date, this was manufactured. If we look at the back, we can look at the manufacturing date. So that would be 71, because it's a 1, this is 70s watch. And in April 71. Remarkable. This is I really like these movements. They're a little bit tricky to service and spare parts can be difficult, but when you got one in good condition like this, they're fantastic. So we're going to start by lifting the hands off. Gotten a bit of stick for my hand lifting in the past. Let's have a look. So we've got several kind of things. Got all these frames on the dial, which I'd like to avoid, so I'm going to put the stem back in. I think about there, that'd be a good spot for me. Get that second hand to line up. Get my trusty hand removing tools. I really like these. I've got a piece of plastic I put on the top, like so. So I've never really scratched it with the plastic base here on the bottom, but just in case there was to be some dirt on something, we're going to double it up with a piece of soft plastic on top. You can lift the hands off like that. Now this dial is ready to go off. So it's in very good condition. Seems to be a tiny little mark down here. I guess somebody has removed their hands before. So be it, but that's almost not noticeable, to be honest. When you stick it up in a camera like this, you see pretty much anything. But overall, spectacular condition dial, no water damage or patina whatsoever. Fantastic. So I'm going to put these hands to the side so I don't accidentally lose them or crush them or something like that. We're going to remove the dial. 2 big fat screws on each side on these movements. Secure the dial feet in place. There we go. We have the day, date, and the dial. So we'll put the dial away, save storage for now, and we'll get back to that later. So in order to save a bit of time on these service videos, as if you watched my video before, I will do the disassembly in time lapse and the assembly in real time. Just so these videos aren't too long. And to be honest, I'll be doing exactly the same, just in reverse. I have fitted the capsules after cleaning everything. The capsules have been dipped in Epilon, and I've also fitted the capsules here, so that's prepped for later on. We can see that the balance is moving freely, so it's most likely not going to give us any issues later, as everything's okay with the hairspring and the balance staff. I always tend to check that before I start putting anything else back together, just in the off chance that something's off there. You might be chasing your tail if your balance isn't moving freely and you're wondering why you got low amplitude. Anyway, we're going to pop this balance off, and then we can start putting the rest of the movement together. So before we put any plate on, we have a intermediate auto winding wheel that will come in, sit this way around. Let's give that a droplet of oil. While I'm at it, I'm going to give the balance bushing a droplet of oil as well for later on. This comes on this way. We have a little bridge holding that in place. That comes on here. Nice to do that. So if you forget it, you'll have to take the bridge off again. We got 2 specified screws for that. Good. Now that is ready to go into the movement later on. For the gear train, we have several bits that we can fit now. We can start with the barrel. I've already cleaned and fitted the mainspring, refitted the mainspring. That was a little bit too much oil. As you can see, that droplet went on the top there, so we'll just clean that off, reapply it. There we go. Fit our barrel. We can fit our reverser wheel. Prep that now. It comes in here. We also have another intermediate pinion. Comes in. Oops. Should come in here. Like so. So that's the auto winder section done. We have the second wheel, which has this is the winding pinion, actually on this second wheel here. So this would be the center wheel, but it's off-centered, but it's the second wheel with a pinion. So the clutch pinion is actually fitted here. I've refitted that and oiled it. That comes down here. We have a third wheel. Comes on here. And we have the escape wheel. Comes here. We have the sweep seconds wheel. So the fourth wheel comes in on top here. I'm going to give that a little droplet of 9010. A very fine oil, which you also use on the escapement. Not the escapement, I mean the balance pivots. goes in here, like so. And now we can fit the main bridge that goes on top of it all. I'm going to do that under the microscope, as it's I want to make sure all the pivots line up and I don't break anything. Also, we're going to put in a little bit of 90/20 right here in the center of where the fourth wheel goes. With the bridge in place, we can now secure it with the bridge screws. I can try to secure it. Let's try that again. Here we go. Just going to lightly tighten this just to make sure all the pinions and stuff are lined up before I tighten it final, just in case something's jumped out of position. You'd be surprised how often that happens. So let's have a feel on that. So that feels good. That seems all right. Good. I'm happy to tighten the screws now. Very good. While I'm here, I'm going to fit that's the ratchet wheel, because traditionally we'll have a ratchet here. Here the ratchet has been replaced with a spring, which works. And we can secure this with the ratchet screw that comes up here. Let's see, I need a different screwdriver for that one. We can also see that the gear train is moving nice and smoothly. Now we can turn the movement around and start on what I would say is the more complicated part on this movement, which is the winding and setting mechanism hooked up with the quick set for the date and the day-date mechanism. The first part we're going to fit is this little pin, which is the press pin for the setting lever, which allows you to release the stem from the movement. Next, I'm going to prep the stem. We're going to put a little bit of blue grease on there. Everything that slides and moves tend to like a little bit of blue grease, with some very small exceptions. We'll put that to the side, and we'll get here we got the sliding pinion that comes in this way, and then we're going to have the winding pinion. In terms of lubrication, we're going to pop a little bit of lubrication on the teeth here. That's a little fat. Let's see if I can get a little bit less. Bit of lubrication on the teeth, and we'll have a little bit of lubrication where it engages with the yoke. The yoke is the lever that slides the winding pinion in and out of winding or setting quick set position. Now we're going to insert the stem in the middle here. Secures all this. As you can see, when the sliding pin is all the way down, you get the winding. middle position, it will engage with the quick set mechanism. The quick set mechanisms, and then all the way up it will wind the movement. So the next thing we want to do now is fit the yoke. So if we can align this a bit better. I'm going to put a little bit of grease where some of the levers go on, like here, and later for the setting mechanism. Here's the yoke. I'm going to fit that now. The yoke spring comes in the form of a machine spring, but before I fit that, we have this. This is for the calendar date wheel that comes in here. To get things on the right alignments. So here we have the yoke spring connected that pushes on the yoke here, and we have the later before the date wheel comes in here. So if we might as well secure, this is a spring for the setting lever later on. We'll see if we can secure this. It kind of holds it in place. Just to note, I have already lubricated the gear train, so that's ready. Now I'm going to pop a little bit of lubrication on here. That's going to be contact point for the setting lever, which comes on here. There we go. Lever for the quick set date, I believe. Might be mixing some of these up now. I was going to find this a little bit confusing at bits, but we tend to get it to work. There we go. And now for the intermediate winding and setting wheels, they come on here. Just going to put a little bit of grease on that as well. That's got a spring that comes on here. Oops. Vanishing spring. Give me a second, I need to relocate that. Okay, spring relocated. There we go, fiddly spring fitted. And to secure that, we're now going to fit the setting lever spring. There we go. I notice this movement is a little bit magnetized, so once this is all back together, I'm going to demagnetize the movement in one unit. There we go. Setting lever spring lubricated. Now we can fit the, let's see what we'll do. Let's see. We got the intermediate setting wheel. We can fit that now. It's got a little tension spring on it. Has to go in there, engage with the pinion from the third wheel, and then we have a little tension spring which needs to be pulled back so it will come down. There we go, that's in position now. We also have the quick set date lever with a pinion on it. Comes on here, but of course needs to come on a way where it engages the wheel with the other wheel. So if we slide that down at an angle, then secure it in place, like so, then that's in position. No, I believe we have a little bridge to secure the rest of the unit here. So over here, and of course we need a couple of screws. Keep that in place. I've used the wrong screw here. Let's reorganize that a bit. Here we got the correct screw for the setting lever. That's that big wide one. That's on there. And then we have this one that comes on here. then that it is correct. Now, setting the time, and that sets the quick set for the day and date. That's got the rather unusual complete plastic quick set wheel. Since it's not broken on this, we're going to leave it as it is, and if it ever breaks, we do have some reproduced steel ones to replace it with, so it's not the end of the line should that break in the future, but it seems to be in very good condition, so we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, I think I'm going to secure the date wheel. I'm going to flip the movement around, fit the pallet, and fit the balance and see how it performs. Next, we can fit the rather large and fun part, which is the date disc. We can fit the date disc wheel as well. Oh, actually, we'll put a bit of red grease on oil on that there. A little bit of lubrication doesn't hurt. Slice in like that, and that is secured by the little date pointer here. Come on. Oh, that was clumsy. There you go. Trying to do several things at the same time here. Because this is a plastic part, I'm not going to lubricate the inside of there. We do have a step screw that secures this. Being very clumsy today. It's Monday, so I haven't been to work all weekend, obviously. Usually it's not this bad. Anyway, enough excuses. Let's get this on. That's secured. Like that. We have the intermediate wheel, which on this model is steel, sometimes they're plastic. We have the what would be the cannon pinion, which in this instance is just a minute pinion, because it's actually not a clutch pinion, it's just a cannon pinion or minute pinion, whatever you want to call it. Because the intermediate hour wheel here is tension, we've got to move that back so it engages like so. Quick little correction of myself. This screw here was incorrect, the one I had fitted. That is actually for the pallet bridge. Anyway, that's been moved around. We got the correct screws in here. We got the date wheel. We have here we have the quick set for the day disc. So, and we have the hour wheel. Let's just correct that, shall we? Rookie mistake. I guess it's a while since I've worked on this movement. There we go. Now I can fit the date quick set wheel. There we go. Let's tighten that. We have a couple of kind of overlaying bridges here that keep everything in place. Here's one. See this little lever? It has to be rested in there. All right, let's see if I can get my screws back. There's one. Start on this side. Just secure that a tiny bit. There we go, that's in place. You can see this is in the correct position. So that's the first bridge, securing the date wheel, and there's a second smaller one, just a single screw bridge like this. You would call that a so we got the double bridge secured here. We have one with a single screw that comes in here. There we go. So technically now, this is test, yeah, that's the, that works as it should. Let's try that again. I'll just let the movement advance quickly because there's no pallet fork holding it back. And date shift, brilliant. We can also test our quick date. That's our quick day, that's our quick date. That works very nice. Brilliant. Now turning the movement around, we're going to fit the pallet and we're going to fit the balance and see how it performs. Here you can see I've fitted the pallet fork. Next thing I'm going to fit is this little spring. This is for the hacking lever that comes in underneath here. Like so. So with the hacking lever in place, or the spring, to engage it, we can fit the balance. And hopefully this will start ticking. There we go. Lovely. Okay, with the movement ticking, we're gonna we might as well finish a couple of things off. We got the intermediate driving wheel for the auto winder, comes in this way. That is held in place by a lever that comes in here, holds it down. There we go. Have a look. So we've got dial down position, having some light interference here. Dial down position plus 6 seconds, 263 amplitude, which I think is very good on one of these. Let's go dial up position. Showing plus 10, I don't think that's accurate. Let that settle. Plus 7, there you go. Let's do crown down position. That's not plus 10, let that settle. Crown down position, it will go now to -1, -2, let's see. -6, okay, a bit of a positional variation on the crown down. Crown left position, changing the beat area again. So a little bit minus, crown up position. That will settle, it's not going to be -17. -9. So minus about 10 on the side positions and plus 7 on the up and down position, which I think will be a very good average when this is averaged out. So very happy with that. Put that dial down again. Amplitude is rising. Time is going a bit faster again. Now it's going plus, at the moment 0, but we'll go, yeah, it will settle, you get the idea. It's showing 0 plus 2. Yeah, looks very healthy and good to me. Very happy with that. Now that I have a very good performance on the time graph, well, I think so, for a non-chronometer rated 1970s Seiko, we can fit the final couple of pieces and put the watch back together. I've let's flip this around. We can fit the day disc. So, and then we can fit the securing. It's got a little securing C-ring. Pop that over from the top, push it down until it clicks in position. So. Quick set works both ways, good. We can now fit the, well, actually we'll fit the oscillating weight. There we go. See that it's winding the movement, which it is, which is good. Still manual wind it, good. Excellent. Now for the dial. And then to set the fit the hands again. There we go, movement serviced, hands back on. Let's put the movement back into the case. Make sure that lines with the securing ring in here. We've put a new gasket on the stem. The old one was very hard and didn't do much. I doubt this will be waterproof, but it will be an improvement because we're going to reuse the old crystal, etc. So to secure the movement, we move this along here till it's tight, like that. That's the movement secured. Next, to fit the crystal. Next, fit the bezel. There we go. And there we have it, the movement back together. Let me get that on the bracelet so you can see how it looks on my wrist. And yeah, really nice movement, nice performer, quick set, date and day, pretty advanced from 1971, hacking lever. It's got pretty much everything you'd want from a watch like this. Really, really, really nice. So, as promised, we got the watch on my wrist just to show what it looks like in action. This is a fantastic looking watch, I think. The case has never been polished and it's still fairly sharp and got nice detail to it. Dial looks fantastic. Overall, really good impression. Can't really show you the watch in sunlight as it's in limited supply at the moment, but yeah, very happy with that. So you can see my dog Indy is ready to go for a walk, but he's got to wait another hour before we go. That's right, Indy. Fortunately, he can't join me in the workshop for fur-related reasons, as we need to keep the workshop as clean as possible. But yeah, please support the GoFundMe by purchasing this watch. You'd be doing a good deed, so to say, by wearing this, I think. If the bids don't go very far, I might bid on it myself. There you go. It's a very cool watch, and yep, all the proceeds will go to the GoFundMe page. Until next time, have a good one.